Hi, hello, Sat Sri Akal. You all are watching Punjab Kesari Navodaya Times. मैं हूँ आपके साथ नमिता सचदेव and we have with us one of the finest actors and filmmakers of the industry. Yes, I'm talking about Mr. Rajat Kapoor, who's with us right now. Rajat sir, welcome to Punjab Kesari Navodaya Times. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Namita. Thank you for the warm welcome.
And thank you so much. It's an honor for me having you here. Well, अगर फर्स्टली मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँ, मुझे ऐसा लगता था आप लोगों को अप्रोच करते हैं, आप एक्टर्स को अप्रोच करते हैं अपनी फिल्मों में काम करने के लिए, इतने खूबसूरत सब्जेक्ट्स पे आप लेकर आते हैं फिल्में, बट आपको भी अप्रोच करते हैं लोग ऐसा कि तनाव में आ जाइए, प्लीज काम कीजिए.
As an actor, yes, sometimes I get approached as an actor also, yes.
How you got approached for tanav?
For Tanav, I think Applause asked me, and they told me about the project, and they said Sudhir Mishra is directing it, and I'm not a big fan of For the original series.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's a personal opinion. I'm sorry, but I think the way they have done it, it's completely changed. Because it's become very personal to us now. It's become our story. It's very close to us. So yeah. So that's what makes it exciting.
So now that you have already accepted that you didn't like Fauda, but what made you said yes for Tanav?
That's what, because it is very different. It has become our story.
Since you didn't like Fauda much, but what was that reason that you said yes for Tanav?
I'll tell you, because I saw the first episode and I was not very fond of the handheld camera movement. But there's a wedding scene in that right in the first episode. And those Arab faces, man, they're so beautiful. And then I was like, my God, we don't see in international cinema. We don't see this. Because we see very, really a one-sided affair. We see Arab faces only as a backdrop to some American thriller story, But so that intrigued me, And then so if we were to set this in Kashmir, maybe we would get to see that. And really, I tell you, Namita, what Sudhir and Sachin and Applause have done is that the Kashmir you see in this series is fantastic. It's phenomenal. And even on the shoot, I remember, all these faces, the gorgeous faces, which are not mainstream, in many ways, which we don't see in our cinema. So to present that, I think that was the joy. And to be surrounded by that beauty. It's really a different culture. It's very different language. The language is so different from anywhere else in the country. In a way, you still feel when you go to Kashmir that you come back as a time traveler. There's such innocence there. I don't know if this is making sense, but that's what I felt at the shoot.
But as an audience, if I ask you one question, like whenever a word like or this phrase Kashmir is attached to any series, any project, any film, it becomes sensitive. What do you have to say about that?
I don't understand. Great cinema tells stories of people, of human beings, of human life. Right? Or it should. That is what is the purpose of art, right? Whether it's a book or a film or a painting. Even a painting depicts in some way human experience, and tries to indulge with the question of what is our life, who are we in the context of this universe, right? That's what art should be doing. So any contemplation about human experience, about the human life is good. You may or may not agree with every opinion that is presented to you, but you can definitely partake in it. You can be a part of it. You can draw something from that experience. You don't have to agree.
If I would ask you, like, how would you differentiate a good film or a great film? How would you do that, sir, as a filmmaker?
Good film, a great film, will have a signature. You see 30 seconds of Fellini. It's Fellini. You see 30 seconds of Scorsese. You can't mistake it for Tarantino, for example. You can't. Any filmmaker, any great filmmaker, you'll know this is the guy because he really has a signature. And the signature is not about style. It is more than that. It is about how you breathe, almost,
Hmm.
It's a
The
universe.
process, I believe. Hmm.
Sorry?
The process, I believe.
The process.
It's not about the style, the process.
Process, of course, process is part of who you are, but that also changes.
Hmm.
The process changes
Hmm.
as you grow. It can't. It is
Hmm.
valid. But there's a universe which is yours,
Hmm.
which the filmmaker is not even trying to make a
Hmm.
film about the world that exists outside. He's
Hmm.
trying to make a film about the world he sees within, and
Hmm.
how a great painter has to find his own expression. It's not about replicating what you see outside. It's not about, okay, this is the house, I paint the house. No, but the house that
Hmm.
Picasso will paint is not the same as what Van Gogh will do. Is not the same as Matisse would do.
I
They
agree.
all,
Hmm.
yeah, because it's them. They're trying to discover
Hmm.
themselves as they discover the world, right?
Obviously.
And they're trying to express themselves as they discover the world. A vision is the first
Hmm.
criteria for a great film, great art. Do you have a vision? Do you have a vision which is uniquely you? Do you have
Hmm.
a signature that is unique you? I think that is the
Hmm.
first criteria of creating art, of discovering art. That if it has been
Hmm.
done before, if it can be done by somebody
Hmm.
else, then why should I watch you? I'll watch anybody. You know, I think,
Definitely, your vision makes it different.
yeah, what distinguishes you is
Hmm.
I'm
From others.
interested in who you are. I'm
Hmm.
not interested in how good your craft is. Anybody can learn the
Hmm.
craft, but I want to know if you're revealing yourself, if you're
Hmm.
opening yourself to the world.
Hmm. So, as an actor, what do you look out for in a script when you choose your script, sir?
As an actor, your choices are limited.
Huh. Is
Fellini is
it?
not Fellini is not calling me. Scorsese is not calling. Your choices are limited by two things: by the kind of work that is happening around you, and
Hmm.
by the fact that people perceive you in a certain way. So that is
Hmm.
also a big problem. You tend to get stereotyped.
Okay.
People start slotting you, and you similar kind of roles that start coming to you,
Hmm.
and then you don't want to repeat yourself, so you try and say no to that.
Hmm.
Yeah, but you have to make a choice from what is offered to you, and I try and see which is a good script first of all, which
Okay.
is a coherent script, and not just
Hmm.
and which again, like I said, which has a vision, which has a purpose, and not just the purpose is not to make money, but something else.
Hmm. And we've seen you making some very good choices. You started with parallel cinema, doing some unconventional choices also, and then you have made such beautiful pieces or some masterpieces, I would say, as films. And also now you're doing that. You're doing commercial cinema also. So which part, did you enjoy more, or which is your favorite one? What is your first love?
I'm a filmmaker first, so
Huh.
I consider myself a filmmaker. I look at myself as a filmmaker. So that is my
Hmm.
identity, and I sometimes act, and I'm very grateful for
Hmm.
that. But my real
Hmm.
passion is to make films. So I would say 90% of my time is spent
Hmm.
in making films, thinking films, writing films, trying to
Oh,
sell the films
wow.
I've made, trying to release them, and so on.
Hmm.
10% of my time goes in acting, which I enjoy very
Hmm.
much. I'm very grateful that people think I can act and people give me roles, and I
Hmm.
enjoy very much being on a set. For me, it's thrill
Wow.
to be on a film set,
Hmm.
really, and it's a
Hmm.
stress-free job. I don't have to think
Hmm.
about payments. I don't have to think about whether the khana has come on the set. I don't have to think about how many shots I have to take in the day. Somebody else is doing all that. Yeah,
Huh.
so it's great freedom.
Let's say one of your interviews I was watching and you said कि you don't make films to make money, है ना? पैसा बनाने के लिए आप फिल्में नहीं करते हो, but you do acting to make money और just मतलब सिर्फ वो भी choices पे होता है.
Yeah, well,
अच्छा
no,
लगा तो
acting does pay the bills. That's for sure. Because
हाँ.
my filmmaking doesn't pay any bills. On the other hand, I end up putting my money in the films that I've made. Uh,
हाँ.
so yeah, in many ways, my acting work subsidizes the films I make. Yeah.
So is Rajat sir a director's actor on set or he is a director when he's acting on set too?
I'm
No?
completely a director's actor. Completely a director's actor. I'm very submissive. And like I said, I enjoy it very much. Uh, so I'm given lines, and I try and do it my way, as best, to the best of my abilities, and to the best of my thought process. And if the director doesn't like it and says no, maybe we should do it, and then I say, okay, let me try that. Yeah, so it is a collaboration always, and yeah, and I'm very, very submissive. If the director says sit down and do this, I'll sit.
But do you believe in improvisation, that it helps while you're acting?
Very much, very much, very much. But the director has to be open to that. Now, there are different degrees of how open they are. Some are very open and welcoming. Some are like, no, you're disturbing my thinking very much. Just do this. Do what I'm telling you. So that's also okay. Yeah, but I like to improvise. I like to try it in 5 different ways if possible.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, if I talk about Sudhir and Sachin, did they give you any special advice, or kind of like you had to take references for your character, or the creative liberty that they are given on set?
Great liberty. Great again, like with them, with both Sudhir and Sachin. That's where the real collaborative energy is. You know, because they're absolutely open people. They're lovely people, and they're open. They're not insecure. You know, this happens when people are insecure, that they want to put their authority in some way, but they're secure enough to say, okay, what do you have to add to this? Wow. This is what I'm thinking. Now, can you add something? Or do you have another way of playing? And then they watch you and they say, yeah, great. Or no, not so good. Let's try another way. You know, so that's when it becomes fun. That's because you're discovering things. There is no one way of doing anything, right? So you want to discover how many ways this can be played out, and then what works best for the story that you want to tell.
Absolutely. So, like, if we do any project, any web series, or any film, we have some takeaways from the character that we do. So, what were your takeaways from your respective character that you did?
I don't take away nothing from any characters.
Okay.
I don't take away anything from the characters I play. How can you?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. You think people take away from their characters? I don't know. Maybe when you're 20, this will happen. When you're very impressionable, maybe.
And what was the best part of
it's like meeting people? It's like meeting people, and somebody suddenly you become them. No, you don't become them, right? You might enjoy their company, you might enjoy who they are, but you don't become them. You don't start copying them.
Obviously.
Start talking. A character is like that only. It's like somebody you met. Some of them are very nice people. Some of them are not nice people. But you met them. You met them. You experienced them, right? And then, but you are who you are.
So, what makes you feel more comfortable, playing character which are close to your personality, or like playing something different out of?
I'll tell you something. I firmly believe. But Namita, it's a very nice interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm loving your questions. I truly believe that you're not playing a character who's outside of you. At least that's not how I want to do it. That's not how you look at how I look at it. I'm not playing somebody who exists outside of me and then I'm trying to be him. No, I'm not going to impersonate. First of all, it's a non-existent entity. There is no Jagjit Malik. There isn't any. It's just some words written on paper. There is no Hamlet. Hamlet doesn't exist. There's just few lines that Shakespeare wrote. But then who's Hamlet? What is Hamlet? What does he look like? Okay, we know we have a few cues. He's young. He's maybe 24. He's still studying in college, so maybe 22. He's short. But beyond that, you don't know. You don't know what Hamlet was doing when he was saying this. I don't know. Maybe he was standing on his head and saying those lines. You know. So who's Hamlet? I have no idea who Hamlet is. And it's wrong to say Hamlet is this. Bullshit. You know. So I'm saying if I cast somebody to play Hamlet, I'm interested in that person. I'm interested in who are you? And if I give you these lines, how are you going to say them? That is my discovery.
Hmm.
So even as an actor, when I'm playing something, I'm trying to find these people within me. Right. There is a Jagjit Malik within me. There's every you are many people. You're not one person.
Hmm.
And having said that, let me elaborate a little more and let me say that you're eventually playing yourself. You're
All
playing
right.
always. You're playing a part of you. That's why Brando is always Brando.
Hmm.
Robert De Niro is always Robert De Niro. He might cut his hair short and he might learn how to play a saxophone or learn how to drive a taxi. But it's Robert De Niro you're watching.
Hmm.
You don't want to watch Travis Bickle and whatever the other characters he's played. No, you want to watch Robert De Niro play that.
Hmm.
That is a
And we do see that conviction in your characters that you play on screen, and we could see that like people start believing on your, trusting on your characters. I think there is some process that you go through while preparing for all your characters that you told.
but there is
See,
no
while
process.
imagining, there is no
But there is
process, but
no.
then you resonate with that character, na? Yes, it's you.
I think if you reach a certain authenticity,
Hmm.
then maybe people are impelled to watch.
Hmm.
If you're saying that, then I'm very grateful, and I thank you very much for saying that. That people are interested. But I think that authenticity might be what pulls people into a character or into a scene. They start feeling the truth of the moment.
Hmm.
And I really believe that film actors play themselves, whether it's Humphrey Bogart or anybody, or Nasir Saab.
Hmm.
He may or may not agree with me because he has played 150 parts in so many films.
Hmm.
But I believe that essentially it's you. You're playing. You can't run away from your breathing. You can't run away from you know. See, again, you might change your look. You might. I feel that given slightly different circumstances, I would have been somebody else. I am this right now, but I could have been many things given different circumstances in my life. So when I'm playing a character, I'm really looking for that person who I could have been.
Okay, in today's time, do you think digital is the need of the hour? Because on OTT platforms, so many projects are coming, and one or the other, we could see like web series,
Need of the
films
hour, I
back
don't
to
know what
back.
is the need of the hour is. I think need of the hour is to detox and to switch everything off and
It
to
is.
read a book.
I do agree with that.
This is the thing. It's very nice in a way that everybody is working.
Hmm.
Uh, most actors and technicians are working. It's very nice that
Hmm.
maybe slightly better stuff is being written than was being written for cinema, of our cinema.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's a plus. But on the other hand, there's such a overdose of what is called content.
Hmm.
That you have one life. How much you gonna watch, man? You know, and then there are better things to do with your life than to just watch stuff mindlessly. I think it's terrible. Somebody, I don't know, I've read it 30 years back. Somebody said that boredom is a sickness of the industrial civilization. Earlier, people in other stages of civilization, people didn't get bored. They would work,
Hmm.
they would come home, they would cook, they would sing, maybe as a community, they would dance, they would talk to their friends. They were not bored. Now we
Hmm.
are bored. If we don't do things, we are bored, which is
Hmm.
it's a problem. So now,
But
because you're bored, there is okay. You can watch this, you can watch this, you can watch this, and then you're more bored watching stuff, and you watch it for
or
20 minutes
same
and say,
kind of
this
stuff, I
is shit.
believe.
Huh?
Same kind of stuff, almost.
Same type of stuff. Yeah, yeah. It's horrible, and people don't know what to make. Again, they're doing what our cinema or even the Hollywood cinema has done for years, trying to double guess what the audience wants and trying to make that because such and such series was a hit. Okay, let's try 50 other things like that. Come on, what is that? Where is your conviction, man? What do you want to do?
Hmm.
You want to make? Forget what the audience wants to watch. audience will watch what is good, but make something good without trying to double guess what they want to watch.
So for Tanav, you have to say something to the audience, like why would they watch it then?
I think it's a story well told, first of all. Of course, ideally you should read a book and not watch anything at all. But if you have to watch something, watch that. It's a story well told, and like I said, it's really looking at two sides of the same issue, and looking at it with great empathy, not just saying it. Okay, we're looking at two sides of the same issue. It is really empathizing with both at the same time, which is great. It's telling you a very human story about people, and it has got a great ensemble of actors. Great ensemble. One of the best in recent times. And then the Kashmiri faces, and then the authenticity of the faces. Phenomenal. I think it'll mean something to you. I hope so.
Thank you so much for once.
It's such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.